法国24新闻频道今天对美国大幅抬高中国汽车进口关税做了报道，特别提到中国汽车有可能通过墨西哥大举进入美国市场，并惊叹于中国汽车工业在极短时间内所取得的骄人业绩。我们看看他们是怎么说的吧。
China's leading electric vehicle company, BYD, launched its first truck in Mexico on Tuesday, and its regional chief said the company is currently in talks with 3 different Mexican states to choose a location for a plant that it plans to build there. Let's listen in to the U.S.'s trade representative flagging this concern about Chinese EVs going through Mexico, as well as BYD's head of its Americas region responding to these concerns.
The second question was on EVs and BYD in Mexico. At USTR, that is exactly what we are built to worry about and to be concerned with. That will require a separate pathway. This is about imports from China. What you're talking about would be imports from Mexico. Equally important, something that we are talking to our industry, our workers, and our partners about. And I would just ask you to stay tuned.
It don't make a difference because when we build a Mexican plant, we only consider it's Mexico market and also other countries' market, not really consider U.S.
So, Charles, the concern here, isn't it, that the free trade agreement between Mexico and the US, though?
Yeah, and that agreement signed in 2020 and going up for review in 2026 allows for the free trade of any cars produced in Mexico into the United States, whether produced by a Chinese company or not. Donald Trump has suggested on the campaign trail that he would prevent this from happening. And now the Biden administration, as we saw, is also saying it's looking at that issue. Chinese car companies have been putting in the work to develop their footprint in Mexico over the years, to the extent that when looking at car sales in the country last year, vehicles from China are way ahead of the pack, totaling over 212,000 sales. That's double more than sales of vehicles from any other country. Back in 2016, cars from China were almost non-existent in Mexico. And currently, Chinese manufacturers of car parts are already exporting to U.S. clients from Mexico. So there is a precedent and a cause for concern for the U.S. neighbor.
And presumably it really underlines that strategic shift, if you like, towards the export market for Chinese car manufacturers.
Chinese car makers are basically focusing on every global market except for the United States, which is now seen as being off limits. In part, this is because of increased competition at home. There's over 100 different EV brands competing for the domestic market, and government subsidies means that brands also hold an advantage against foreign rivals. That's the argument pushed by the U.S. and European governments. All this has led China to become the world's top car exporter, with close to 5 million vehicles shipped out last year, as you can see there, from a baseline of around 1 million in the years preceding 2021.